Okay guys, this applies to all bikes, but in the sequence of what I'm doing and in case you're following along, this is applicable to all bikes, but I'm going to keep it consistent with my V-Strom service I'm doing. There are a couple other pointers I wanted to add as just hints or suggestions, I guess you'd say. One thing I do is use anti-seize when you put these back in to close off these brake reservoirs. I have worked on many a bike where those are stripped, they're over tightened. So I'm just in a habit of always using anti-seize. And also on the V-Strom, I did locate that rear reservoir. It's on the right side of the bike, right here behind the panel. And I've already been in there, and the same process is bleeding that too. You want to empty that reservoir, clean it up, put fresh fluid in, get down here with your 8 and open this bleeder valve. Now you're going to need to pump up those rear brakes and then release the pressure and hold it and then seal this and repeat that process over and over. Now I'm sure the internet is full of videos step by step, but essentially I finished that process. Now you know brake fluid is caustic for your paint, so be sure you wipe clean, take extra precautions. Also on the V-Strom, like a lot of motorcycles actually, you're actually going to bleed 2 sets of brakes, calipers and all, one on each side here on the front side. So you've got both the left side and the right side, so don't forget them. Now, and just again as a hint or helpful reminder, should you ever need to replace your brake pads, do not open this bleeder valve unless you intentionally plan to. You don't need to do that to open these up and replace them brake pads. I mean, you literally just remove some cotter pins, well, not really cotter pins, but they're like pins, but you just remove them, pop that down. You can replace those pads in about 15 minutes and put them back on without ever opening that brake fluid line. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful as I continue. Next is change the oil. I'm going to go ahead and flush the oil and filter. So I've got the brakes done, the clutch is done now. I'm in the midst of doing the valve adjustments and all, you know that. I did put a pigtail temporarily on the battery just to keep a charge these few days while I'm working on it. And I'm not doing any electrical at this point. Were I doing that, I'd go ahead and disconnect that battery altogether. If I get to that point, I'll do that. But I'm just doing general maintenance. Now yet to come too is also get some kerosene and clean up that chain. It looks like it's pretty dirty. And we're going to need to oil and service it. I may actually come down here and open this sensor to see how dirty the speed sensor is in here and behind this panel to see if it's caked up with stuff that needs to be cleaned out and all. But thanks for following along. Hopefully this is helpful on whatever bike you're using,